Alrighty then, good morning world. Well, it is the morning here in Canada where I am currently living. My name is Kara-Leah. I am a yogi and a writer and a dancer and a mother. I forget that sometimes. Not really, but you know. So I just want to come on and talk about the Alchemy of Liberation. This is a 3-day immersion that I'm delivering in Auckland. March 28th to 30th, because I'm going back to New Zealand for 3 weeks, taking my son back so he can see his other side of the family, and so I can go to Earthbeat Festival where I'm presenting. Yeah, shout out to Earthbeat, it's going to be incredible. And then the next weekend I am at Basecamp Yoga in Auckland for the Alchemy of Liberation. So what is the Alchemy of Liberation? It rolls a little bit like this. You can liberate yourself from suffering. You can 100% liberate yourself from suffering. And on this 3-day immersion, we'll be diving into the Tantrik Yoga teachings and practices that support you to liberate from suffering. What does it mean to liberate from suffering? It means that you are no longer enslaved to your circumstances. You are no longer enslaved to how other people perceive you and act towards you and what they do. You are free and liberated and able to orientate to joy. Right? There is joy in every moment, even when there is intense grief, even when there is intense challenge, there is joy, the joy of beingness available, right? And no matter what happens, like your car breaks down, you don't have the money to fix it, like all these things that go on, and I know because I have lived through these things. I still live through these things, right? But I don't suffer when it happens. I have this deep, abiding trust in the nature of the universe, and this deep abiding trust that whatever is happening for me. It's happening for my liberation. It's happening for my awakening. And I have learned to master the self, right? And mastery of self means that you are no longer ruled by the amygdala, by the limbic, by the neocortex. You are not ruled by your mind. You don't listen to or believe in those thoughts, those doubts, those fears that might come up. And eventually, those doubts, fears, and thoughts just don't even come up anymore. Like, this is what I noticed, right? Because I stopped listening to them. I stopped believing in them. I stopped behaving from them. And after a while, they just don't even show up, right? There's hardly any fear. Yeah, Shane, definitely see you at Earthbeat. I'm so excited to be at Earthbeat because I get to hang with my crew, like all my festival friends, and catch up with everyone at one giant party for like 5 days. Like, and it's the best place to liberate. Like, oh my God, when I did 9 festivals in one season, which is the season of the summer of 21-22, I came out at the end of that festival season, whoa, like, who am I? And I had just shed and liberated so much. And I got a shout out to that festival season and the people I rolled with. That was when I got a solid dose of the rockstar vibes. Because it was like, fuck yeah, let's rockstar these festivals. Let's go on. I went on like a 5-week tour where I did a festival every single week. It's freaking amazing. All right, back to liberation. So liberation is when you stop blaming life for what you're experiencing. Liberation is when you take radical self-responsibility for whatever is going on. Yeah, Wolfpack in the house. Radical self-responsibility for whatever is going on, right? So you own your shit. So something might happen and it might make you feel a particular way, right? But how it makes you feel, you own it. You do the work around it. You digest it. Right? You don't blame, you don't try and control, you don't make the other person wrong. None of that shit. We are so past that shit, right? We are in a new world. This is 2025 and it's time for the masses to start to wake up. And when we all take radical self-responsibility for ourselves and stop trying to control other people, stop making other people wrong, stop going into all the drama, do you know how amazing life can be? It's fucking extraordinary. Okay. What else can I say about the Alchemy of Liberation? It's a 3-day immersion. You can come to 1 or 2 or all 3. I highly recommend, of course, doing all 3 days. Because it's not just about the teachings that you receive and the practices that you receive. It is about immersing in my field. Because I am embodied in this. I am living this. Like last year, 2024, I immigrated to Canada with my teenage son in March and went through intense initiation. So much survival fear came up, so much shit came up, and it took me for a little while. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I haven't experienced this in years. And then I realized, I'm like, holy shit, I am waiting for my circumstances to change so I can feel the way I want to feel. What the fuck am I doing? That is not how I live. And the moment I realized that, and I started to go into deep fucking gratitude and joy, right? I'm like, joy is available in this moment and I'm going to access it. I am going to access it. The moment I started to do that, I started to enjoy. I was liberated from, right, the suffering. And it wasn't that the circumstances immediately changed. They didn't. It was still the same circumstances, still dealing with the same shit. But my experience of that shit was completely different because I was different. You see, I was different. That is where the magic comes, right? So I went through this incredibly strong initiation and come out the other side. And oh my God, the practices that I'm going to share with you all, these are practices that some of them I have done daily for like 6 years. And what happens with a practice is that a practice has Shakti or power. And when you immerse in practice day after day after day after year after year after year, and one of the practices, I've done it every day, but I've been doing for 14 years, right? When you do these practices for that long, you unlock the Shakti, the power of the practice, right? And so when you sit and you come and you learn a practice from a teacher that has immersed in it and unlocked the Shakti, the teacher is able to transmit the Shakti, the power of the practice. So you as a practitioner, you're not starting at zero. You're able to receive and feel the activation of the Shakti of that practice, and you're starting from up there already. So the practice is so much more powerful. And that's the way I like to roll as a teacher. I like to immerse in a practice for, at least 10 days, ideally 3 months. But the ones I really love are the ones I've done for longer than a year or longer than a decade, because I know those practices have so much power. So the Alchemy of Liberation will give you the practices that you need to master yourself, to master the neocortex, master the limbic, master even the amygdala. And that's fucking next level. Like, to be able to have intense fear come up in the system and orientate to awareness and hold that shit and not be reactive to it, it's fucking ninja styles. And it's possible. If I can do it, you can do it. Because there ain't nothing different, right, between you and me, except the fact that I fucking practice. I practice for more than 2 decades every single day, and I know the power of practice. So 3-day immersion, Alchemy of Liberation. I'm going to stop talking now. Yeah, practice, practice, practice. Do your practice and all is coming. I would add something to that. That was Patabi Joyce. I would add that in order for all to be coming, do your practice and all is here. But you really need the view teachings as well, the underlying philosophy, the way to orientate to reality. And that is absolutely critical. So those are the teachings, right? And those teachings are like, no matter what happens, no matter what shit hit the fan, no matter how awful and terrible and horrific things get, if you can genuinely, sincerely align to blessings on the goddess for this unfolding, if you can do that, you will unlock immense power that will give you the ability to deal with whatever is going on, whatever chaos is going on in your situation, and you will no longer suffer. It doesn't mean life won't be challenging. It doesn't mean there won't be pain. It doesn't mean there won't be grief or sorrow, but your experience of those things no longer includes suffering. That's the liberation. So if you're keen to come, send me a DM, Alchemy of Liberation, March 28th to 30th at Basecamp Yoga in Auckland. It's worth flying in from Australia. Hell, it's probably worth flying in from Canada. Although, who knows, maybe I'll get to deliver the Alchemy of Liberation in Canada sometime soon. All right. Blessings. Blessings to the masters and the teachers and the gurus. Blessings on the lineages, the practices. Blessings on each one of you. May all beings be free. May all beings be free. And I can't end actually without saying a huge fucking shout out to Palestine right now and to the Palestinians. Like, I see you, I feel you. What is going on is absolutely fucked. It is so fucked beyond fucked. And I can believe, but the New Zealand government, what the fuck? Would you guys stand up and make us fucking proud? Would you get on that world stage and fucking do something about this genocide that Israel is going on? Like, Luxon, dude, be a fucking leader, all right? Okay, now I'm over and out. Big love to you all.